Boom! Greater than God. Greater than God. It's funny how most people expect the source, the Most High, to fit their own parameters. So if the source manifests itself into this world and its parameters fall outside of their assigned parameters, then it surely cannot be God. Most people, despite not being absolute experts in any field, are absolute experts when it comes to one subject, God. Everyone seems to know what God should be like if it were to manifest, especially how it will treat them. Example, accept them as they are, while they judge and ridicule it. Those who conclude God doesn't exist at all also have to be geniuses, considering the all-knowing nature of this conclusion. So it's settled, all the people are greater than God. So it's settled, all people are greater than God, Gavin, because they have parameters outside of God, while God only has parameters assigned by them. Makes one roll on the ground with laughter. We can tell God when we see it. It's funny how beings here hope to be able to recognize the one, the avatar, the savior, using their own faulty perception. Most of them cannot even fathom who is truly higher than them, let alone fathom the highest. They find the media-made celebrities to be higher when they are just as lowly as them, maybe lower even. While some unpretentious villager in a real culture they would define as lower. One needs to have honesty and humility to the divine, to be able to see the beauty and marks of divinity, and humility has to be strong enough to overcome feelings like jealousy and self-loathing when one has seen it. Temples. All the temples of every organized religion on this planet are a fraud. There you go. Boom. Did you hear that? All temples of every organized religion on this planet are a fraud. They serve the fat priest, not divine. The only real temple is the temple era of the avatar's head. Your head. That's why they call this temple. This part of your head, you know, the temple?
Yeah, the temple?
Yeah. It's for what? Just for fun? Just call it temple. No, that's your temple. It's inside your head.
It lives inside your head.
I would make sure I go in it very frequently. Holy. The term holy comes from holy with the W. But it's not holy, it's holy still, but with the W. W is silent as always. To be whole is the only way to be holy. You like that stuff, Gavin, eh? Huh? Religion, when God, divine appears in flesh and blood in front of a person and they just run towards a structure called temple, they are an Hindu. If they run towards a structure called a mosque, then they are a Muslim. If they run towards a structure called a church, then they are Christian, etc., etc., etc. Religion was about relinking, religion, with God. Now it is just linking with unfractal structures of their own making, which have nothing to do with God divine. Which has nothing to do with God and divine. Even the sanctify of these unfractally built and maintained structure is always being compromised. A really insincere state of affairs. Really insincere state of affairs. There is no such thing as yoga. Breaking news. Breaking news. There is no such thing as yoga. This term yoga has now become synonymous with contorting of the body into various shapes, but the truth is that there is no such word. The real word in Sanskrit is yog.
That's what it is.
Just like Shiva is actually Shiv, Krishna is actually Krish, Veda is actually Ved, and so forth. Yog simply means union. Union with the divine, to be precise. This union takes place through devotion, surrender, praise, and service to the I and divine. It has nothing to do with the asanas, commonly known as asanas. Being taught in the West, yoga classes, which are now hard to tell apart from aerobic Aussie style, act mainly as respectable health and dating centers. Males flock to see females in posture. They won't see them in otherwise. No wonder yoga has caught on like it has. To turn into a global corporate entity with yoga drinks, gear, clothing, etc. So it's either yoga or yog. Another 21st century choice. How to tell between fake and real gurus? Many in this world are duped by charlatans because they don't seem to be aware of the distinguishing marks, traits, signs of the higher, more divine. Society has only one definition for holy: no sex or sexuality, beauty. All any ugly charlatan has to do is put on a celibate image to get adoration. However, in this age of cameras, they often get caught. Everyone gets disappointed and starts losing all faith in holiness and divine. To clear this up, LotusOcean states that the more enlightened, higher divine can always be distinguished not by their lack of sexuality or age, but by their connection to elements, nature. Boom! How about